Hi, and welcome to an Organized Chaos podcast. I'm Bobby Quarters. Chaos is here with me as well. We just wanted to thank you for watching.
Yes. Hey, Bobby.
And hey, and while you're here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You could follow me on YouTube as well as Chaos and the podcast channel, which all three of those channels will be streaming this very show you're about to watch.
You okay?
Yeah.
This is where we live.
What's that?
The fence.
What's inside?
People.
What's outside?
Monsters.
By the time the sun comes up tomorrow, there's a very good chance you'll be dead. You're gonna lose.
Don't you know what he did? You swore.
This can't all be true.
Every word.
CIA Black Vault break-in.
Am I reading this correctly? The Kremlin bombing?
In fairness, the bomb was actually meant to kill him.
He gassed a security briefing.
That was just 2 months ago.
this explains the handcuffs, it's still not clear why he's here.
If we want to bring the world back from the brink, we have to deal with him.
Should he choose to accept?
Smart people on every side are close to panicking.
What exactly is your plan? Your team has been betrayed, Ethan. All your secrets compromised.
Everything you are, everything you've done, has come to this.
You gave him an aircraft carrier? Our lives are the sum of our choices. This was your calling, your destiny. I have no regrets. Neither should you.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
We've been through a lot to get to this point, but now we're finally on the same page.
We may have settled things in the valley, but now we have to be ready for whatever the world throws at us. The Saikai Taikai tournament is coming. Now is not the time to puss out. You're gonna fight the best in the world.
Do I want to know what that's for?
Training, Rocky IV style. Gonna chop down a tree carried through the snow.
Now what could possibly go wrong?
No matter what life throws at you, you gotta stay on your feet.
Our strength is we teach both styles equally. Don't jeopardize that balance, man.
Since when do I run shit by you?
Since we have no idea what we're up against.
Only through pain does a champion reveal himself.
Yes, Sensei!
It's one thing to be the best in town, it's another to be the best in the world.
Just means I'm gonna have to beat Robbie again.
I thought you were Miyagi-Do now.
You think things are better because now I'm training in your dad's backyard?
I think we have our strongest team.
I think they can handle anything.
Bitch, don't you know I know karate? What's that?
Miyagi-san buried secrets for a reason. If we open, anything is possible.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Yes, I'm terribly sorry to spoil the secret for everybody. But the case, Mr. Miyagi's case, simply had Bill O'Reilly yelling about the live script.
Yep.
Yeah. He's just going to read it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Our boy Bill.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, it's a little disappointing when we all find out. But yes, how's everybody doing?
On this Memorial Day.
Yes, Memorial Day. Yeah, I'm getting ready. As soon as this is over, I'm gonna get grilling, get stuff ready for the kids for a bit of a late dinner. But yeah, Memorial Day, good times. You know. Yeah. How are you doing, Bobby?
I'm all right. My plans fell a little bit late, so I had to rush to the theater this afternoon. This afternoon to go see Mission Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an experience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess. Do you have an order of preference? We can dive right into that if you want. No.
Let's talk Last of Us and then Cobra Kai, and then we could save Mission Impossible for the end.
Okay, we could do that as well. So Last of Us.
Since they just wrapped up, let's get that out of the way.
Yeah, because this is one I definitely had to watch earlier today because I think it came out like 9 o'clock last night, and I work at 5 a.m., so I did not stay up for it. So I just saw it after work today. So last 3 episodes. I guess I can sum up my thoughts on all 3 of these pretty quickly. Episode 5 was okay. Episode 6 I thought was excellent. Then episode 7 was very meh, especially for our season finale. That's kind of where I feel about it.
Yeah, I kind of felt it was one of those really weak season cliffhangers.
Yeah. Like, I kind of know how the game ends, mainly because I've seen Turf Nation's videos on it. By the way, if you haven't liked and have you haven't subscribed to Turf Nation, make sure
do so.
To him.
Turf's a good dude.
Also, Bobby Quarters, Organized
this
Chaos,
guy.
know the drill. Yeah. Subscribe to everybody. But yes,
but Turf's a good dude.
Yeah. I've seen his videos on this stuff, so I kind of know third hand what happens. And it feels like maybe they're stretching out the second game into 2 seasons because. This isn't the ending that I'm aware of the game, but we aren't there yet. And Abby's barely been in this season. So yeah, the finale feels like I feel like they really like, if they're not going to conclude it, they need to have a much bigger cliffhanger than what they did, which just kind of feels like, it just honestly, it feels like stretching out the story, honestly, but where they did the cliffhanger. That being said, while episode 5 was all right, but kind of felt like it definitely felt like a middle chapter between 4 and 6, because 4 set up like all this stuff between the wolves and the scars and all that, and then episode 5 is more about Ellie going after Abby in the group, and then yes, Bob.
Yeah. Sorry.
Then,
I'll put it down.
yes. And then episode 6 I thought was excellent because that went through Ellie and Joel's backstory. I actually didn't even know we would get any more Joel after episode 2.
I'm not surprised, honestly. I'm pretty sure
I wasn't shocked, but I was like, okay, cool.
I'm pretty sure that the writers probably knew, or the showrunners probably knew that some people would bust a tit over him getting killed so quickly in the second season. So,
well, I think it was probably planned out because, like, I feel the way the story unfolded made sense. To reveal a lot of stuff at that point. Because that episode really did bring a lot of things into focus that we had seen throughout the season. Because the season made sense, but really doesn't come into focus till episode 6. Then, yeah. Like episode 6 is like a fairly well-crafted episode, so I find myself shocked at how episode 7 seemed to kind of
I really
drop
enjoyed
the ball for a season finale. Yeah,
I really enjoyed 6. I thought 5 was. There's a few points when I was watching 5 where I was just like, "Wow, the writing is just not here in this one."
Yeah, it gets a little dull sometimes. Like her on the search is kind of like, I thought, like, especially when they introduced Jeffrey Wright and the wolves and stuff like that, I thought they would really dive into that, and they didn't really at all. They didn't really touch on it until episode 7, and even then they didn't really cover it too much. And obviously that was the big cliffhanger they set up where they're going to dive into it, and I'm like, so we're setting up a whole season to go into this conflict? Because that doesn't feel like a whole season story. That feels like a secondary story to. I guess, overall, my thoughts on this season, it's kind of a roller coaster. There's high points in this season, and then there's kind of low points in this season. Kind of a mixed bag for me. Bobby, where are you at?
I still had a hard time really investing into the characters. And this, and I think it's a lot of it comes from, like, I just don't know the game. I don't play the game, so I'm not familiar with the lore. And I'm also kind of really tired. I feel this whole, like, I feel it's trying to copy Walking Dead, especially cinematically, a lot. Like, I see a lot of some familiar, like, style shooting and how they're framing a lot. Not necessarily in storyboarding.
I was about ready to say storytelling.
Not in the sense of storyboarding
away
at
from
all.
That, which is thankfully, yeah.
But but they're making it look a lot like The Walking Dead. And that's what I
could see that, yeah.
I mean, I saw 3 shots that I've seen in The Walking Dead in that trailer for the opener alone.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah,
and even this
I could see that.
cliffhanger was like it. It was very Negan.
True. That's probably the most Walking Dead thing I've seen of this series. Well, outside, if we exclude zombies and kind of some of the shots, the milk toast fucking cliffhanger ending. I feel Walking Dead just got pretty famous for that shit.
Well,
yeah.
you know who did it better and first?
What?
Sopranos. Only there was no conclusion to it.
Yeah.
That was how they ended the series.
Well, yeah.
Which is where you should put that.
I still haven't sat down and watched Sopranos, but to my understanding, the point was kind of just it doesn't end, you know. It just keeps going.
That last final half of the season, they kind of like they really build to what they allude to what you presume happens. Like at one point, Tony's talking to another character, and they're talking about that moment, you know, when it comes to you. And one says, "I bet you don't even hear it coming." Later, we see that happen to a character. He doesn't even see a hit coming, and it happens. And you know, it's one person's like, "I don't know. I imagine just everything goes black," which is what happened.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like I said, I'm really, and I felt the writing was just weak in a lot of parts of this season.
Yeah. I think the way they handled Joel's death overall was excellent. That was a pretty exciting episode. But then, like, honestly, even episode 1 I thought was decent. And then there was elements in 3 I thought worked. And then 4 and 5 feel a little filling in the gaps. Like 4 I thought was introducing stuff that I thought might be interesting. That, by the way, isn't really explored later in the season. So that kind of falls flat. Then 5... like there's elements in all the episodes I thought were fine, but yeah, I feel like the standouts are by far 2 and 6. And yeah, I think Bella Ramsey got a really good chance to perform in episode 6. Essentially, you know, like going to a museum and shit like that. I thought that was really cool stuff that they did in that episode. And again, like, I almost feel like episode 6 should have been the finale, because like at least then you're ending with a strong finale. At least even if it's not like, oh god, I wonder what's going to happen next. At least you end there. It's strong. You know, you planted the landing. And episode 7 really feels like a really big misstep, because that might be potentially my least favorite of the season overall, even in a season that was kind of uneven. It's a mixed bag on this one. It really is. You know, I'm not saying I hate it, but I am saying could have been a lot better. Could have been a lot fucking better. I think episode 6 kind of shows the potential this season. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Bobby?
No.
I will say some great guest stars in this season. I love Catherine O'Hara this season.
Joey Pants. Joey
Pants was fantastic. Yeah.
Like I was watching it and I was just like putting some stuff away, organizing, like listening to it in the background. And the first time he spoke, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, I know that voice.
That's Joey fucking Pants.
Yeah.
And then
I haven't seen him in forever too. So it was
then it showed up a close shot of him. I go, it is Joey fucking Pants.
Yeah.
Last thing I saw him in was Tacoma FD.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I'm trying to think.
Oh, it's pretty good.
He looked a lot younger last time I've seen him, so it's been a minute. Yeah,
he was sporting a very thick mustache in that. Still looking good.
I guess technically last time I saw him was Pluto Nash, but that's almost certainly not the most recent time I've seen him. Yeah,
and let's see. Before that, I saw him in the Chucky series, which that would have been 20.
That wouldn't have been too long ago.
2022, the latest season.
That's a franchise I wouldn't mind diving more into.
I'm down for that. That whole series is pretty cool, and I got to give props to the writer and the creator of the first one. He's spearheaded the whole thing. He's written everything in the canon. So like,
yeah,
Don Mancini's cool in my book.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess outside of cool guest stars and a couple of really solid episodes. And I think I will say I think this season has a good idea for a storyline, but they aren't it feels kind of half-ass.
I think I think they were trying to play it safe with this season.
And I know this season.
And I'll say this: Ellie's decisions a lot in this season really kind of pissed me off. Like she did some stupid things.
Yeah.
Some absolutely stupid things.
Yeah.
Like
it was there's a lot here. I'm like,
and I mean, if they're trying to do it to like emphasize that, you know, she wasn't ready to be on her own and that she still needed to learn more from Joel and she needs to grow as a person in the story, then I mean, they didn't need to hit the nail on the head so many fucking times as they did. It kind of just got to the point where it just started pissing me off.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm not going to be like any fucking asswipe on any. They didn't like making memes making fun of her or anything like that.
No, absolutely not. Because
that's just some
I mean, the
shit.
issues we're talking about is writing issues.
I'm blaming the writers.
Ramsey did a good job. I think
she
Pedro
did an
Pascal
okay
was
job.
excellent as well. Yeah. Like I said, great guest stars, great main cast.
I'll say like if she has the right stuff, because there's a few where it's just I didn't feel she was given enough, so she did everything she could, but it still didn't turn in a great performance. Doesn't mean I'm gonna hate on her for an actress. Hey, every actor sometimes turns in a bad performance.
True.
That's just fact.
But yeah,
look at Jay Moore and like everything he's done.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Jay actually can turn in a good performance every so often.
Can.
Like he was great and as good as it gets. Oh, wait a minute. That was Greg Kinnear.
No, yeah, you can't get that one.
That was Greg Kinnear. Yeah. And he's also pretty good most of the time.
Yeah, I was about ready to say Greg Kinnear. I don't know if I've seen I've seen him in bad movies. I don't know.
I've seen him in bad movies, but like
I don't know.
But it was that one that he was in with Matt Damon, how they played conjoined twins.
Yeah, that was really
it was rough, but like
he always gives a good performance. He always gives it his all.
He and Damon were good in it, but it's just the movie itself was like, this feels really weird.
Yeah, it really weird. Yeah. Okay. Anything you want to add, or should we go on to Cobra Kai?
Well, let's get into Cobra Kai because I got a lot to say about this.
Okay. Well, why don't you start us off? Because I am interested to hear what you say. Because
I am, well, maybe more. I just feel like I have more to say because I got out of the theater and they had an ad for Legends, which now it just makes me more like we need to fucking finish this season.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do it next week.
Yes. Well, we are.
Oh no, I'm fucking ready to. Absolutely ready to. Yeah. But yeah, this was really good, and I am really liking the building they're doing.
Yes.
I still don't think they know how to write Tori right. Or I don't like what they did with Tori in this season.
Yeah, Tori, it felt like they for the most part, I think this season's kind of getting it right. And I think it's mainly because they knew this was the final season, so they don't have to fake all these conflicts that constantly drag out the show. Essentially,
they had natural ones, even with between Sam and Tori, and I'm thinking Robbie and Miguel.
Yes,
like legitimately good ones, and they could have built really well on them, but just I feel that they wrote themselves into a corner with making her storm off, and later as we see rejoin Cobra Kai, which was more just why.
Yeah,
this is so stupid.
Like I kind of get her loyalty to Kreese, but there's a point where you have to draw the line, right? Like he's an escaped fugitive, and I did think I will say I think their excuse for why Kreese is not like in jail right now, it was weak as fuck when we.
Seriously, like what?
Like, I'm an old man, and they decide not to go after me. It's like, wait! You violently escaped from prison. beat the shit out of guard and escaped. Like,
just to
no.
make just to have kids compete in a karate tournament.
Yes.
Like just a little bit. Like, come the fuck on. Can we just I would have bought Silver buying his way out and buying a judge and all of that.
Yes.
More than that. Nothing against Kreese or anything. Like I'm happy he's back more in this season.
Yes.
And we get to dive more into his fucking lunacy.
Well, I do feel like the conflict between him and Johnny kind of has to be what we wrap up this series on, right?
It has to be.
Gotta be it. Yeah.
After his vision quest.
Yeah.
Which that was I really liked that episode.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. So like I feel like in the rewatch, like I remember when I was first watching a lot of this series, I was just really getting disappointed with every season. I feel like with the rewatch, I've been able to embrace the flat out cheesy aspect because the first season was just really solid, and nothing has compared to that in my opinion.
There's some silliness.
But it's entertaining. Yeah.
I really couldn't. That really started to drive me crazy last season. It annoyed me, but in the last season, it really did. But how like Cobra Kai itself kind of became its own character within the world. Oh, Cobra Kai is bad, but you know what Cobra Kai does to people. It's like, Jesus Christ, just what? What? And it seemed like at times very after school special, even like Cobra Kai was drugs. Like,
and I will say to a degree, I kind of miss the idea kind of set up in the first season again, because I like the idea of Johnny kind of finding himself in Cobra Kai and like rediscovering himself. And I felt like after the first season, the course was to have Johnny kind of modify Cobra Kai and realize, you know, the lessons of Cobra Kai aren't perfect. We can still have Cobra Kai, but we just got to change how it operates a bit, you know.
And I think that they went with some gimmicky things about the characters, each of them. I mean, Danny's included in this one.
Oh yeah.
But okay, in the movies, right? Like, it correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm misremembering them, but Daniel always kind of wanted to modernize Miyagi's lessons, make them adapt to like his time period so that they're more relatable.
Yes.
Yada, yada. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? But I mean, okay, I can get with even Miyagi living with him, or like and him still being very close with them over all these years.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that Hilary Swank hasn't came up at all in this entire series. Which,
I'm actually kind of surprised about that one. Of all the guest stars they dug up, they cut that like
there's some ones that have been impressive, impressive guest stars.
I mean, Hilary Swank, I know is like probably would be one of the bigger ones to dig up, but like at the same time, you know, I haven't seen her starring in anything. You could probably get her to pop up in an episode or two, just like Elizabeth Shue. Yeah.
Like even with I figured Elizabeth Shue would when because I hadn't seen any of it, but like when we start rewatching, I'm like, well, she's been on The Boys. She was absolutely going to appear, and that was great closure for that character. That closed that chapter for both of them, and it was great. Even we got all of the Karate Kid Part 2 people. And now Chosen's like a main character on the show.
Dude, Chosen's one of my favorite characters in the show now.
he is the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, especially drug Chosen.
Yeah, it was a bit much, but yeah, it was also kind of entertaining. I don't know. Chosen, I love Chosen.
Well, yeah, but just I just the things that I will get back on track. The things that they really leaned hard on with Johnny is like kind of like he's the caveman in the modern world sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, sure, that was really funny in the first season. Like, parts of it were really funny.
Oh, yeah.
Even when he's saying things and the kids going, "You can't say that." What do you mean I can't say that? I just did. And just that was great. But even at the end of the season 1, like you said, we saw him evolve more from where he was at the beginning, which is how you progress a character in these things.
And
it just seemed like he kind of like half regressed and stayed that way. And they've done this with Macchio's character the past season and a half.
Yeah.
Where he's just like the tradition.
Yeah.
Or the balance. And I mean, he started to kind of unhinge it a little with not crease, but the silver stuff, which great, fucking love that. But yeah, and just right back to where it was, and like no growth, no nothing.
Yeah,
So
that's the
it
thing.
makes,
Like, I feel like we got great character growth in season 1, and then since then it's just been getting kind of like cheesy fun at its best. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm still enjoying it. But
yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed this season, and to a degree, I do feel like a little bit this season we're seeing a little bit of at least emotional growth from Johnny, which I do appreciate. Not a whole lot from Daniel, unfortunately, but
no, and I mean, he has the most.
Yeah,
that should be. Now, I mean, with the kids though, there's a lot of great stuff. But like I said, I feel like they just don't know what to. They still don't know what to do with Tori. On the good guy's side.
I actually kind of like, I like that they turned Robbie and Miguel into friends, but their conflict feels kind of natural because, Miguel really wanted to be team captain, but Robbie was just doing a bit better that day.
And Robbie was, like he said, he's tired of being in second. And even the whole montage is like, yeah, you're right. At the end of every season, he always gets beat.
Mm-hmm.
And even I forgot about how Hawk defeated him. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
completely.
that was shocking. Yeah,
that one I was like,
I was like expecting Hawk. I was like, that one.
Well, no, but even when it happened, I remember even like watching it for this current season. I was like, oh, that's right, Hawk did kick his ass.
Yeah,
that's right, Hawk did whoop that ass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but their character, it sounds natural, and even with Sam and Tori, they have the natural conflict. That should exist, and it makes
Tori stuff
sense.
Does feel very forced, though. Like
it really just seems like it's out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get it
for the added conflict.
Yeah, they had her mom die, which fucking traumatic as fuck. But because her mom dies, she immediately runs over to Kreese and joins Cobra Kai and ghost Robbie. And it's like, okay, I get it. She's going through stuff and has to figure it out. But is this really the path she wanted to? It didn't feel like remotely the path she was on. Yeah.
In that instance, when they found out her mom died and she was on the mat, what would have been your call? In the fight or let it go on?
I was actually leaning towards what Johnny was saying. Maybe
I was
do
too.
A reset, but
I was too. But hey, as he said,
when you're dealing with
working
grief,
it out.
Yeah, when you're dealing with grief, people have different ways to work it out, and you kind of have to let that happen. If it goes for too long, you maybe have to stop it. But the initial grief, let him work it out. Let him work it out.
Yeah, no, I also agreed with Johnny on that one. I was like, no. That's also when this season
I do get
really started to piss me off.
I do get pausing the fight and saying, okay, maybe reset. Let's reassess. But if she wants to keep on going, okay, let's do this. Yeah. No, I was actually on Johnny's side for that one.
I was completely on Johnny's side on that one.
Yeah.
I did not expect old girl to poison that kid's water or drug his water.
Oh yeah, Devin.
I totally didn't think it was Devin. I was surprised by that.
No, when Devin. It was assumed it was Anthony to begin with, I was like, oh, yeah, I could see that.
Okay, so their grudge is still going on.
Anthony and Kenny are kind of shits to each other. I could see
that. And they both just need to
Yeah.
But I think we saw them settle it.
Mm-hmm.
When he found out it wasn't him, and he's like, man, I've been mad at you for this. And he already, you better hurry home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but overall, that. But we
gotcha.
I'm overall liking this season. I like what they're doing. It's not perfect, and it is cheesy, and it's nowhere near as good as the first season, which I would still argue is my favorite chapter in the Cry Kid universe is probably season 1 Cobra Kai.
I mean, nothing gets better than Johnny looking up conspiracy things on YouTube and just going, I fucking knew it, pointing at the laptop as if it's in agreement. But we got to talk about the cliffhanger that we left off on for this run.
Well, that's the funny thing. So this wasn't when I picked these episodes were released in 3 gaps. So it's 1 through 5, 5 through 10, and 11 through 15. Those were how they were released. So but because we only had 2 weeks, I went ahead and cut it in half. And goddamn, the cliffhanger we left at could have been the cliffhanger for like a break, because it's like, holy shit. Because yeah, Terry Silver just pops up out.
Did bribe his fucking way out of jail. He did bribe his fucking way. And like, when I first heard the voice, I was like, "Motherfucker, are you serious?" And then after my initial reaction, and then that him menacingly just and shit, I was thinking, oh wait, Silver and Chosen round 2. Oh, let's fucking go. Yeah. Well, because Chosen's gonna whoop that ass this time.
So, oh god, yeah, and I would love to see it
because I immediately thought of him just like breaking the board and just, he's gonna whoop that ass.
And here's like Chosen went to so you brought up Chosen being drunk, and then he went. What we find out is he goes to Okinawa to meet with Kimiko, who never responded to him, and he finds out she has a boyfriend, and he comes back drunk. So it's like, okay, I can see
even in worse shape, yeah. And then he ends up hooking up with the
lady Cobra Kai instructor. I do not know her name,
which honestly, when they started fighting, I was like, they're gonna screw.
Yeah, no, that was exactly my thought. When they're like kind of fighting, I'm like, oh.
And but they're first saying how they're very similar and all that, and it's like, they're gonna fuck.
No,
and then they just started kissing immediately and just went, fucking called it.
No, I'm so like here's the deal. Like when they did that relationship, I was like, okay, I kind of like this, except for the age gap. I kind of like this, because the age gap is kind of insane. But I kind of like from like a personality standpoint, it works for me. Yeah. I'm not saying they're not allowed.
I know that.
Yeah, it just throws me off. Yeah.
I think once both parties get past the age of 25.
Yeah, I think there's an argument. Well, there's an argument to be made there. You're still growing and learning past 25, but it is drastically less than the percentage you learned before then.
I mean, okay, for example, if someone's in their mid 30s and they're dating somebody in their 50s, I could see kind of the 51.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
If the two people, they genuinely love each other and they're good to each other, that's really all that matters. But these are fictional characters.
Yes, there's that one.
I totally see that, but I mean. Every bit of it made sense, and even when you see them the next morning, just trying to be professional, and it's just, even looking at her, go, "Girl,
you see the sand all over her hair." And it's
girl, you have sand all over your hair. I know what. Just it's where I would just look at him and just grin and just shake my head,
what she said. This is a one-time deal, and he was like. Well, 2 times if you count this morning. It's like,
and she sheepishly grins at him, and it's like, okay, man. All right, my dude. And I see you've also worked through your shit. That's good.
But yeah, I am excited as well to wrap up this season, and I also get to Cry Kid Legends. Because that movie looks good, the trailers look good, and
it really looks good. They even had a special look behind the scenes for the movie when I saw the movie today.
Yeah,
and, nice. It was the kid talking. He's like, "What really made a lot of those training sequences so cool, other than just the fact that Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan are up there with him." And, I mean, other than just as a fan. And it's like, okay, the kid is genuinely a fan of the series and both of them, so that's okay, that's cool. It was maybe us and a very small crew because those rooftops were so small, and it showed him and Ralph going, and Ralph's like, yeah, that's true. I mean, and also, dude, Jackie Chan was there, and it was okay, even Ralph Macchio's cheesing out that Jackie Chan was there.
Oh yeah, well, I also thought it was funny because I saw a behind the scenes thing where I think Jackie Chan mentioned how Ralph Macchio's been there since the beginning. And then I was like, well, wait, how old are you? And then Ralph Macchio's like, oh, I'm 30. And Jackie Chan's like, I'm 27. Awesome. It's like, yeah. These guys have been around a little bit.
What's funny about that, I've seen that clip too. And what I love about that is Jackie in all his interviews has always had a really funny sense of humor.
Yeah.
And just right then, it's if you notice immediately after that, Ralph just breaks the thing and just starts laughing.
Yeah.
I've seen him make that like similar joke or jokes like that and make all of his co-stars just break and just start laughing. While Jackie just very seriously still talking to the interviewer, but making his co-stars laugh hysterically.
But yeah, I guess a semi Karate Kid episode. I think it's also going to be Doctor Who, but we aren't even getting to next week yet. Anything you want to add, or should we go on to final reckoning?
Let's get into Tom Cruise's a Tom Cruise production of Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Did you notice
Produced
that
by Tom Cruise? Yeah, I know.
Did you notice a Tom Cruise production? At first, when I saw that, I was like, "Motherfucker, are we gonna start seeing that shit every time this fucker?" Oh,
well, we'll see how much more he pops up.
Well,
because,
I've allegedly heard this is the last film in this.
This is the last Mission Impossible movie.
I did see him on the tour, on the press circuit for this, where he was talking, and somebody, I want to say it was Germany, maybe somewhere in Europe, but they were talking, and they kept asking him like, "Hey, is this going to be the last one? Is this going to be the last one? Is this going to be the last one?" And he's just kind of ignoring him, and he kind of almost made it sound that it, depending on how it performs.
Well, I
and that motherfucker opened it up on Memorial Day weekend here in the States. He's been on a press tour for this for at least 3 weeks.
I'm sure he has. That being said, it is getting the box office numbers is getting buried by Lilo and Stitch right now, which
from what I haven't seen, but I heard a review of it. Track record still stands.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well.
Yeah, the track record still stands.
People I know who've gone to see it are like, yeah, this isn't great at all.
My coworker of mine saw it, and she said they fucked something up so early in it where she was just, nope. and I was like, well, important question. How did the kid like it? Oh, she loved it. She didn't care. But nope. And this is like someone who a self-proclaimed Disney adult.
Yeah.
I have seen 3 separate Mickey purses that she owns. I can confirm.
Well,
she has one that is a taco.
I'll go ahead and dive into my thoughts on this movie. I think this is a well-made, decently done movie. And you want to know what I thought the weakest part of this movie was?
Tom Cruise production?
Just Tom Cruise in general. Just Tom Cruise and the Ethan Hunt love.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy that scene where he is like on the airplane, and we get that shot of all of his skin just like blowing in the wind. Could you tell it was a wig? Because I can.
No.
I can tell it was a wig.
Well, no. Do you want to know?
It's even that shot it was even in that shot that you put in the intro. That exact shot. Looking at it,
what was wild? Like, did he do the thank you before the movie?
Yes, you mean where he mentioned seeing it in the theater 5 times?
Yeah. Well, you want to know what's wild? He looks way older in that intro than he does in the actual movie.
Right.
Yeah. And I was just like. And I hate to say shit like this, but it's like, so to film the movie, I guess he got shot up with Botox, I assume, because like that's noticeable. It is fucking noticeable. Maybe they CGI'd his face. I don't know.
It did look a little weird when he was underwater.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was CGI, and I mean, like I said, it was Memorial Day weekend, and like I had texted you, I was in like a practically sold out big theater.
No, our theater was packed as well. I
had to go for the 3rd row. So
for the box office not being massive, I'm surprised how packed the theaters were.
I'll admit though, there was sometimes where, I'll tell this a little bit later, but there was some moments where like I could tell that we're put there for a laugh, and like maybe 2 or 3 people laughed.
Yeah.
And I mean, that happened a couple of times, and it made me laugh because nobody was laughing at a moment that was supposed to be funny. So I found that funny.
Well, like I said, like watching this, Like this movie in particular really made me highlight how like all these movies, like I typically like Ethan's teams. I typically like usually there's cool stunt pieces, there's all these cool elements. And typically one of the least cool ones is kind of Tom Cruise himself. And everybody wants to talk about how awesome Ethan is in this franchise. And you want to know what really drove me nuts, especially watching this one? Because Ethan, I won't even consider the big hero of this one. It was fucking Luther that saved the fucking day.
Yeah.
Like fucking Luther, who, spoiler, it's like Act 1. Luther dies at the beginning, which I get that because, he's like the other character besides Ethan who's been in every single one of these movies. But in death, he thinks of a way to completely annihilate the entity. And they just have to follow his plan to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and everybody, even Luther in his dying breath is like, Ethan, you're such a great hero. I know you can do this. And I'm like, motherfucker, Luther is the fucking hero of this goddamn movie. Why is everybody praising Ethan for doing stuff?
I believe one thing that Luther said in either the first or the second one was that he is the man in the know.
Yes.
And he said it. I can't deliver it like Vin Rhames, but he said it cold and calculated and confident.
Yes. No, and that's the thing.
He very much was throughout all of it. And even in this one, Simon Pegg, I think, did more than he has in the past few. Ever since his first movie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing. So like those have become kind of like his two big co-stars in these movies, Luther and Benji. Both characters I like way more than Ethan. I find more engaging and entertaining in Ethan. I like Grace more than Ethan. And another thing this movie reminded me of, and it might sound weird to say this because like I will say I enjoyed this, but like I'm also kind of happy it's over. Like I didn't hate watching this, but like it does kind of drive me insane as well. The other thing this movie reminded me of is because it brought up Mission Impossible 3 and the rabbit's foot. It reminded me of fucking Philip Seymour Hoffman's villain in that movie. Oh my fucking god! They haven't been able to touch a villain that
when
cool
you compare. Well, I mean, and nothing against like the actor who portrayed Gabriel. Fucking
S.A. Morales. Yeah,
yes,
he's good.
He's good.
I mean, have good actors, but like
he's great in this.
God, yeah.
But like, I'll get back to Gabriel though. But I mean, yeah, showing like that whole thing, and as soon as that happens, like, man, I want to go home and watch that scene again because,
dude,
Philip Seymour Hoffman. And I'm happy that it wasn't. If you notice, like that scene. They showed a bit more of him than they did every other film, and clips of other films, other than the famous knife shot, which is like, still looks really cool on the big screen. I hate to say it, it looks really cool, but I also never knew that was a folding knife. I always thought it was a full straight combat blade. That I was surprised about.
I think we might see it get unfold in the first one.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure. Well, you see,
that's right.
So you mean to tell me within that whole time when he kills that fucking rat,
right. Yeah,
that he lets it go, or just
you're right. Yeah, because I was thinking it was Ethan's knife, but wasn't. It was
Kittredge,
not Kittredge.
No,
no,
it was
I'm bravehearting on the actor's name. I definitely will come up with the character.
Leon.
Yeah, well, yeah, Leon the Professional. Yes,
it was.
God, what is the actor's name? Oh my God,
is it John Reno?
John Reno. Yes.
John Reno. Yeah.
Fucking great actor.
I was so unhappy that he's the bad guy because I really wanted him in more of these movies. But also, dude, he was the bad guy.
Yeah. Dude, when he's putting together his team, it's like here's John Reno and Ving Rhames in the first one. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's a hell of a team.
Hell yes. And then it's like, shit, he's the bad guy. Shit, he's the bad guy. Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm. And to a degree, I kind of like how the first one is kind of like you don't know who the good guys or bad guys are at all in that movie. Like there's a point where you're wondering if Luther's the bad guy because he doesn't have all this history behind it. Yeah, like again, like I like Ethan's teams. Ethan is just kind of bland action hero, man. I don't know how to describe him. Like, there's not much of a character to him, even I feel.
He's just. I'm gonna take it to do the most extreme thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I get it. It's Mission Impossible. That's the whole gimmick of the idea and everything. But I mean, I can't fucking believe there's how many of these now?
This
10?
is the eighth and hopefully last.
Eight of these goddamn things. Like,
yes,
I mean,
and I they would never do this, but I was also thinking,
Christ, Tom Cruise looks old in that picture that you have up there.
Yeah, he does. Well, I was also thinking, what would have really made me more excited for this movie and really kind of up the stakes? Instead of killing off Rebecca Ferguson's character, who was another character I like more than Ethan, kill off Ethan at the end of the last one. Really shake things up. That would have been awesome. Let everybody else take center stage for one of these.
I mean, you would talk
really
quickly. You brought up an age gap from Cobra Kai. Let's talk about the age gap between Tom Hanks and Haley Atwell.
Tom Cruise and Haley. Yeah.
Yes,
well, I mean,
yes.
I'm glad they didn't
Hanks.
pursue the relationship aspect, but they were hinting at it heavily. And I was just like, oh, don't do that. No. They have like I can't stress this enough. They have no chemistry. Like, I can bring up the age cap and Cobra Kai all I want. Those two had fucking chemistry.
Yeah, they had the chemistry, so it worked.
Yeah, so like even though the age cap's like, I'm willing to let it slide because they have fucking chemistry. I buy that relationship. The Grace all of a sudden like cuddling up with Ethan in that fucking decompression chamber. I was like,
no. Is that any good? Like, would that like? I kind of feel that would hinder the process. I don't know much about.
I feel like it would as well.
Decompression chambers, but I just what?
Yeah. But
well, let's talk about one of the big reveals prior to that scene. Where now a friend of mine had saw this before, and he told me, he's like, this one leans on the nostalgia and it presses on the gas, and man, he did not lie. So we get a returning character from the first film.
Yes. Let's see. He's not.
He's not in top. I doubt he'd be in the top.
I want to think. Oh, there he is, William Donlow.
Yeah, which made me think, what the hell else has he done?
Yeah, no. When he popped up, I was like, God, that face is familiar. Who the hell is that guy?
I was like, okay, so he's just a mountaineer. Holy shit, it's that guy.
Yeah, it's
I'll admit,
Coder dude.
The one moment that did make me just go, holy shit, like just, and that was one that genuinely surprised me. I'll say that was the one that really got me genuinely surprised. Now with the cast, I was very pleased with like everyone. So when Nick Offerman went out and asked that army for his sidearm,
yes, I was like, oh fuck.
Did that turn out the way you thought it would?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I assumed like after Angela Bassett, who's the president, made her call, he was going to pull the gun on her and say, no, we're firing.
That is exactly what I thought was going to happen.
And I kind of like the twist. I kind of like how they played that,
And I love that aspect of it.
Yeah.
And instead it was one of her Secret Service men, and said, no, he just fucking domed him.
Yeah,
and
he suddenly pulls the gun in to protect her, even though he is one of her vocal like
opposition
dissenters. Yeah, saying no, President, we shouldn't do this because just to give people a bit more setup. I don't know. I guess my recommendation would be if you want to watch us, stream it. But yeah, the entity is taking over.
The
world is taking over nuclear arsenals, and their plan is the U.S. will be the last one conquered. Before the entity can take over the U.S. Nuclear arsenal, we're going to destroy everybody else's nuclear arsenal with our bombs. And the president at the last minute says, no, we're not. We're going to shut down our nuclear arsenal so the entity can't get into them. Which I'm not going to lie. Part of me was like, wait, that was an option? Why haven't other countries been doing that? The fuck?
Yeah, so the AI that Tom Cruise was fighting in the first one, he at one point plugs into it and discovers that what it wants to do. And what it wants to do is to set off nukes and blow everything up, every country's nukes, and do it. And we slowly see it start to take over all the country, everyone's nukes. Like it's like what? It's who were the nuclear powers? It was Britain, France,
Yeah,
Russia.
It was the last four. It was Britain, China, Russia, and the United States.
All the ones that they showed on the map. That's right. It's the main four.
Those are the big ones. Yeah. And then Britain went down first. And I want to say it was China, Russia.
France went down. France went down first. France went down first.
Yeah, that would have been super early. I don't remember France being on the list. So, but yeah.
Or no, you're right. It was Britain.
Yeah, but there was the captain of the submarine. I kind of liked him. I kind of wish he had a bit more role. But,
I did like him. First as he worked. What the hell are you doing here? Just no questions, because they were on a super top secret mission, so like nobody knows they're there.
Yeah.
Even though like the divers talking, what was your plan? What was going to be your plan if we didn't save you?
Yeah. I'm trying to think what like I said, I like a lot of the cast. Tom Cruise is just kind of there throughout all these movies. Really, he's like the action hero man. It's kind of bland. Like
I kind of like. Well, one thing I really liked about this, how with Gabriel, we didn't get him till the end, like the main bad guy.
Yeah,
we got him a little bit at the end of Act 1, but all of Act 2 he was not there, and we barely got him just at the tail end of Act 3.
Yeah,
and it was just, I liked that, and even the end dogfight where Tom Cruise has proven that he's not an old man.
Sure.
Part 4.
Yeah,
because it's been about the past 4 where he's been doing those stunts, right?
I want to say it was Rogue's Nation that made a big deal about him hanging onto the side of the plane. So ever since then,
it was at the building. What was the building? Was that 4?
Oh, that's right. That was 4. So maybe the past 5 of these. Yeah,
past 5. So yeah, Tom Cruise proving he's not an old man. Part 5.
Yeah.
That was. It was more funny. I was trying not to laugh because he's an old guy. Maybe being in a wind tunnel and having all that excess skin blown around was not the best idea, or that thing that totally looked like a wig that was glued onto your head.
Yeah.
And did you notice the line, "Hey, I like the long hair"? Dude, just admit it, Tom. We'd be cool if you went bald. No one would care. No one would care, dude. I promise you. No one would care.
You could probably get away with it. But yeah.
In my opinion, the last good movie he made was Days of Thunder.
But like I said, I don't even know if I could. I enjoyed this movie. Like I said, for me, the weak part is Tom Cruise. I
agree.
I wish he took a step back from this one.
Overall, I enjoyed this one, but
yeah,
I just.
This one really I've been feeling it with the other ones, because occasionally there'll be a moment where it's like, Ethan's so great, but like this one really kind of rubbed it in a lot, and I was just like, he has a great team behind him, which is part of why he's able to get stuff done. He does stunt work, and I'm sorry, someone else can do stunt work. And yeah, just thought about how he saved the day. Luther fucking saved the day. I'm sorry, Luther did this.
And even at the end of this one, Kittredge realized he was an asshole.
Yes.
I did kind of love that, like Tom just looking at him, and him just
and hey, wow, good to see you.
Hey, wow.
Yes, happy Memorial Day.
Oh, boardwalk food sounds awesome.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Boardwalk food sounds awesome.
But yeah, this was fine, and I think when I say it's fine, with a caveat, happy that these are over. Because I just
depending on how this one performs, man, we might get one more.
It's not blowing up. It's not doing anything massive.
Thank God.
But yeah, the only way I'd want to see these movies continue is if Tom Cruise took a step back, and I know he's not going to do that. So it's like, okay, let's wrap it up. Because I think Christopher McQuarrie does a good job figuring out scripts that are insane but make sense. I think the action set pieces are cool. I'm sick of Tom Cruise at this point. Move on.
I am too. Speaking of action set pieces, what did you think of the submarine?
God damn it. That was the one that kind of drove me nuts, because I felt like Tom Cruise was just in his underwear, And then, like, okay, so he has to take the air tank because it's on his back, and he has to fit in the torpedo tube, so he has to take it off his back. So to take it off his back, he strips to his underwear again? You don't have to fucking do that, bro. Wear some fucking clothes. They're in the bottom of the ocean. It made no fucking sense. I'm sorry. Like that, I think that scene would have worked fine, but it just felt completely unnecessary to do that.
It's been a while since I've had like a physics class or anything. Oh, Nathan's hot dogs. Oh, those are amazing. Oh
yeah.
No, I had them growing up because I have my great uncle. He lives in Albany, New York. So yeah, it's always Nathan's whenever we for hot dogs. Always.
They are a big seller at the store. So
yeah.
I think the only thing it probably does better is Cons, but that's just because the area.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I will say,
state, yeah.
I might be kind of a traitor here, but between the two, I would go with Nathan's every time.
Oh yeah, Nathan's hot dogs, absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I mean, Cons potato chips, they have the corner market for that. This in our state, at least, because they're made here. But yeah, the submarine thing. Okay, so it's been a while since physics and science class. But I'm fairly certain something underground like that, like a contained.
Yeah.
And there's pockets of air of unflooded areas, regardless of how many have around it.
Yeah.
Like again, I'm not a scientist here, but I'm pretty sure that whole fucking thing would have cracked.
That's a good point. Probably. I was suspending disbelief, but yeah. Like,
yeah,
when you break it down, yeah.
Too, but I mean, just like it's. Like even like watching it, I tried to like suspend it, but even watching it, going, what? Like,
yeah, I was actually kind of confused by the pockets of air even existing. Like, yeah.
And then and I go, it's like, okay, so it's causing, and like when it started, like what I thought was start to crack, I'm like, okay, there it goes. Now it's rolling. What?
No,
it just that he's going deeper and deeper into the water and that and.
No, the thing is, like, it's completely underwater, and it's been there for 12 years. I don't see where there's these huge pockets of air popping up in that fucking submarine. I really don't.
And even degradation of it being under there, and just like it being exposed to the elements and everything. Something would have maybe like, I don't know, even like barnacles growing on it more. I thought more of that would be on there.
It looks more untouched than I would expect as well.
And it's deep sea, and I thought like maybe just naturally with it being there, it just would start to break away, and the ocean.
I guess they were trying to set up an excuse for why the thing, like, because like in my head, I was like, there's a solid chance in real life if they went down there to get the source code, because they had to go to a submarine and get the entity source code, because that's what they need to crack it.
The primordial.
There's a solid chance he just goes down there and it just fucking destroyed.
Yeah, like it's just like he swims right up to the door. Yeah. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Like, no, not at all. But what? Tom Cruise has to Tom Cruise, and just that part really pissed me off.
No,
like,
I will say, I feel like every single one of these movies, especially since the fourth one, I feel like everyone Tom Cruise just has to show off his ego a little bit harder, and this one felt like the hardest of them all. And I'm like, okay, I'm
really
done.
It really did. And it just pissed me off even more that I had to be the third row from the screen. And like that photo I sent you was no exaggeration, dude.
Oh, that's
like just straight as far back zoomed as my perspective. Zoom and just So maybe just because I saw it that close, I could tell that he was wearing a wig. I don't know. But just between that and like the aged loose skin. In the wind. Like there was a parent next to me who like took like his boys and stuff. Like he looked over at me a few times while I was laughing at that. And I went, I'm sorry, just his face.
Yeah.
He's too old to be doing this stunt.
He really is. And
I mean, imagine like Clint Eastwood doing that.
No, it really feels like
oh man,
Tom Cruise isn't gonna back away. So I feel like if this one wraps up, okay, cool, let's wrap.
There's only one Tom
I cannot handle his ego getting any bigger for the ninth one. Oh my
God,
God,
no. God no. His ego's so big it tanked a franchise. I'm never ever
right when it started
ever,
too, like
before
right at
it
the fucking gate. Yeah.
before it even fucking went to
Remember that fucking
Fuck
Monster
him.
Universe photo with fucking Tom Cruise and fucking Johnny Depp and
fucking
Javier Bardem as Frankenstein? It's like, that is never fucking happening. Okay, cool.
And they lean so fucking hard into this being like the Iron Man of it.
Yes.
And it was just more of like, I think, did Tom Cruise just get so pissed off that he passed on Iron Man and the MCU became what it did, that this was his vain attempt to match it? But he had to, again, Tom Cruise it the fuck up and just ruin the whole goddamn thing before it launched.
Well, you know what? I think him passing on Iron Man was probably the best thing.
Thank God he passed on Iron Man. Oh God, could you even imagine?
Could you imagine his ego just taking over the entire MCU like it's doing with this franchise? It's like, no, fuck off. No.
Think about it. Like, instead of like a million cranes, it'd just be a million Tom Cruises.
Oh God.
Oh Jesus.
And Robert Downey Jr. knew when to walk away, and he's coming back, but it's a completely different character, and we'll see how he plays it. And he's a good fucking actor too.
And
So.
let's think about this. Has Downey ever played the villain?
Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
he was a piece of shit in Oppenheimer. As far as
not I mean, like, not like that, but like
you mean more like an action movie villain? I don't know.
Like Charles Dance level villain.
Yeah,
and
I've never seen that, but
no.
I think he could.
The actor Charles Dance.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, but like him from like Last Action Hero, where he talks about shooting a man in cold blood. That level bad guy.
A movie that everybody hates that I kind of love with Charles Dance as the villain, fucking Golden Child. That movie's fun.
God,
and Charles Dance,
he is,
and Eddie Murphy is just like doing his goofy Eddie Murphy thing, and Charles Dance is just the fucking cold blood villain,
just doing
his
whole
fucking thing. Yeah, just straight faced. I love it.
But he's really just trying not to laugh at that point.
But he's doing a good job, man. He's playing it cold-blooded, and Eddie Murphy is just cracking jokes every 2 seconds.
Oh man,
I love the dynamic between those two in that movie.
It's been a while since I've seen that one, but
maybe I'll throw it on the agenda sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe next time Eddie Murphy does something. But
okay. I mean, there's still good ones that Eddie did, and like there's ones. I'm done talking about Mission Impossible.
I'm done with it as well.
We could just chat about Eddie Murphy for a little bit.
It was decent, but I'm glad it's over as well.
I am too. Oh God, I just but
and like I said, I'd love to see
he played the bad guy in
without
Shaggy
Tom
Dog?
Cruise, but no.
Downey.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Shaggy
People
Dog?
mentioned that. Yeah, I have not seen Shaggy.
Wait,
Dog,
is that like
I want to say,
Allen
isn't that
movie?
the Tim Allen one where he
where he was a dog?
Yeah.
He was a dog. If he's gonna come back and reprise any of his roles, I want him to reprise his role from Back to School.
That'd be awesome. I have made the joke with him like on the ground doing like the humping motion, being like, here's Tony Stark in college. He's Tony.
It's funny, like I'm as I said that, I immediately thought of that exact scene, and then I thought about what Dangerfield
that is
said
like
to
the
him
classic
afterwards.
scene from
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah,
wait a minute.
Natural Born Killer shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He was kind of a piece of shit in Natural Born Killers.
I want to say he's kind of a piece of shit, kind of like an Oppenheimer in that one. But
Okay.
Yeah. There's more psycho. There's definitely more psycho in Natural Born Killers in him, but he is a piece of shit. Yeah.
I mean, he got what he had coming to him in that one.
Oh fuck yeah. So yeah, apparently in The Shaggy Dog, he is Dr. Kozak. So that does sound like a villain name. I'll give you that.
That does sound evil as fuck.
Shit, Danny Glover's in that too. Fuck.
Okay. The Tim Allen movie.
Yeah. Tim Allen movie where he becomes a dog. What was the score on this one? 4.4. Oh boy.
That's about as good as that. Oh, so we through some conversation and I guess pre-planning between Chaos and I, we're gonna have another poll, but we need to decide when we're gonna do it. But we're gonna start diving into the Schneiderverse.
Oh yes.
Because I was looking on a lot of the movies and the stuff where he's not really attached as but he is the marquee. They have some terrible ratings.
Yeah.
But a lot of them just have some questionable plots too. As of now, I think I have 3 that we're gonna probably have our first pull up. I want to make it 4 to make it good and even, but I might just go with the 3. There's the one called The Chosen One. What was the other one? Big Stan and like
Daddy daughter trip or something like
yeah,
that.
Daddy daughter trip, which is one that he has his child in, which that is his kid in that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's just daddy daughter trip. Okay. That one. And I brought up to Bobby in chat. That's the movie that is actually scored lower than the Critical Drinkers short film. So accomplishment?
I mean, perhaps there's only one of them I'll willingly watch. If I was more desperate enough, I would say click the link to the Patreon to make me watch the other, but I would just no.
Yeah. Dude, talk about a guy who I guess he had a career.
Well, what made me think of Rob Schneider is I think about all the movies where he first started cameoing a bunch, like right around the time he was on SNL, and where he worked with Stallone twice, where he essentially played the same fucking character.
What was the other one he did with Stallone?
Demolition Man.
That's right. Yeah,
he said the fucking line.
Brief role.
He said the fucking line that is quoted the most from that movie.
Oh,
he doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to use the seashells.
Yes. Yeah.
And it annoys me that such a guy like that who has such some pretty shitty hot takes.
God, yes.
But like let's watch some of his like works that we could tell that he put a lot of work into, and I wanted to make one of the criteria that he wrote and directed them.
Does he have anything he wrote and directed?
I think 2 of those movies on that list he wrote and directed.
Oh fuck!
Which is also why.
Oh my god, that sounds awful.
The Schneiderverse. Yes, we are going into the Rob Schneiderverse.
Rob Schneider is a stapler.
I'm thinking I might make an intro for it, and but since I don't want to let it be a strike, I'll probably be saying the Schneider stuff myself. Rob Schneider, the Schneiderverse.
Yeah. Oh God.
So we're going into the Schneiderverse. But if you guys have any suggestions of Rob Schneider, he has to be the lead. That is the criteria. Please leave them in the comments.
Although I will add, if he wrote and directed it, that will give it bonus points.
That will give it some bonus points.
It's not a guarantee, but yeah.
He can't be appearing in it. Like there is one that it looks that he's on the main advertising for it, but he's essentially playing like that Girls Gone Wild guy in it.
I mean,
starring other people, but he's top billed in it.
I would say you can't do Demolition Man because that's not a big role, and that's a totally decent fucking movie.
That is a decent movie, but if we're gonna get into Stallone, we're gonna get into like the really good Stallone, like Stop My Mom Will Shoot.
I was about ready to say Judge Dredd kind of sucks, but it's not atrocious.
But it also
Dredd is so much better.
Objectively, yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't believe in objective film opinions. Objectively, yes, it is better.
But I mean, yes, mostly because he doesn't take the helmet off.
Yes, and Carl Urban just fucking dedicates to it.
He kills it. I don't know why he gets hate for that role, and like why he gets hate in general. He's good.
He's awesome. Yeah. No, I've never seen Carl Urban do a bad job.
No,
he's been in bad stuff, but he always dedicates. I mean, fuck, he played fucking Cupid in the Hercules series, and he dedicated.
Did
fuck, man.
And I mean, he had to carry Kevin Sorbo, and that's like
yes.
Lucy Lawless had to bail him out so much, and she is just such a badass. Like, just
I'm so happy she's called him out more recently, just because fuck him. It's just like, hey, I don't have to work with you anymore. Fuck off.
She created the meme that's saying that your pronouns are has and been.
Yes,
that's her words. And that's just
Lucy Lawless. Forever better than Kevin Sorbo.
Forever better than Kevin Sorbo. Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah. So next week I have it on here. We're wrapping up Cobra Kai, not just season 6, but the entire series. And then we're going to see Karate Kid Legends. So we're doing kind of a Karate Kid episode, 2/3 a Karate Kid episode. And then we are wrapping up Doctor Who season 2, Ncuti Gatwa season 2. So the third season 2 of Doctor Who history. Yes. Doctor Who has a couple season 2s at this point.
Yes.
But yeah, we're not doing William Hartnell, and we're not doing David Tennant. So so yeah, that's next week. Let's see. I don't know how much I'll be streaming this week, but I will be live on Saturday for my first solo stream. Comic book poll should already be up for that. That very likely will be next time I'll be live. I know Showcast will be on Wednesday. I probably won't be on it, but I don't know. If I am, I'll probably be on it with my daughter, seeing if she wants to come on. But I'm not guaranteeing anything. But yeah, that's kind of the agenda. And then we got next week already announced. All right, yeah. Anything you want to add, Bobby?
No, I'm just I'm like writing the poll right now, so
okay.
So yes. No. Right. I'll have like I'm just gonna go with the 3. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go with those.
That'll
3.
be on the podcast channel under the post, guys. So
yes.
Make sure go there and like and subscribe while you're at it.
Yes, if you haven't already. Now, let's see. When should we call this, or should we just later decide on that?
When do we have an opening?
I closed.
You got July 28th reserved for it. We can stick with that.
Oh, that's right. That is where I put it. Okay.
Yes.
July 28th. Okay, so we'll record.
We'll do it with the Third Naked Gun and Fantastic Four First Steps.
Yeah, so we'll call that late July. So we're gonna have that pull up for a while. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't, go when it's up, go and hit the bell so you'll know when it's up.
Yeah.
You can and then we'll vote it and even create another account and vote again.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Because we're gonna have some fun. And even in there, leave some comments of someone's on that post. So we should be good. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, like, subscribe, Bobby Quarters, Organized Chaos Podcast. The logo's over there. Organized Chaos. Cool channels in the description box. At least, no, not on this one, but on regular streams there are. Thanks for joining us. Party on. Be excellent to each other.
Take care.